Good morning, Year 4. Today's English lesson, the LO is, as a writer, I can develop new ideas and change the opening and build-up of my story. So you're going to have a go at writing your own version of the Zelda story. So lots to get through, so I'll get cracking. So today we'll be using some pictures to help us develop new ideas for a suspense story. So we'll be changing our character, which was Zelda before, changing the monster, and our setting will be a dark, scary street. So, what is suspense? Authors attempt to build suspense in stories to try to have a particular effect on their readers. So, can you talk to someone about what you think suspense means? So, pause the video here. Okay, and, well, suspense and mystery in a story can make the readers feel scared or frightened, worried or anxious, excited or thrilled, goosebumps or shivers, concerned as to what might happen next. That makes them keen to read on. Okay, so that's what suspense is all about, keeping the reader hanging on and interested and a bit scared. Okay, your setting, I want to make your setting a dark and scary street. So just have a think about what's in this picture. Where is your picture set? Are there any people or places on your picture? How does your picture make you feel? What could you hear, see, smell and touch if you were there? So just have a think about answering some of those questions now. Just jot down some notes which will help you when you come to doing your writing later. Okay, let's think about a character for your story now. So in Zelda's Claw, your main character was Zelda. So in your new story, your character will be an 8-year-old walking home. So this could be you, a friend, or a made-up character. So give your character a name. And then we need to think of some kind of bad character. So in the Zelda's Claw story, the bad character was the Great Rain Cat. So it was a frightening cat. So today we need to think about who our bad character might be. So it could be a monster, an animal, a person. So have a think, what or who is your character going to be? Something or someone scary. So jot that down now, please. Pause the video and do that. So quick recap, yesterday we looked at something called empty words. So in case you didn't see that, let's go over that again. When writing our story, we need to remember to use empty words. And empty words are words that are used to create suspense. So words like something or shadows or a vague shape. The idea of these words is that it leaves the reader guessing about what's happening. If you said something was crawling along the pavement, it doesn't tell you what it was, it just says it was something. And it makes the reader think, I wonder what that was. Something, could it be a creature? Could it be something dangerous? Could it be something scary? So it gets the reader thinking. Shadows, a vague shape. A vague shape is something you can't quite tell what it was. Okay, shadows create a bit of mystery, don't they? What's the shadow of? It doesn't make it clear, does it, if you just see a shadow? Okay, so we're going to try and use some empty words. We've got some examples here. It, thing, creature, shadow, something, someone. So I want you to include that in your writing today, please. And here's just a reminder of what we did yesterday for the boxing up. So the Zelda's Claw story, for the opening, Zelda is in the darkness and scared, looking for a place to hide. And then we generalized it, which means you just take out all the details, but you keep the main points. So the main character is in a dangerous place and looking for safety. So that's what's going to happen in your story. And all you need to do is add some details to make it your own. So we'll do the opening today, and then we'll do the build-up. So in the build-up in Zelda's Claw, Zelda hears something hidden by shadows. Zelda is scared by the thing and wonders what it could be. So when we take out the details, we're left with main character hears something, can't see it. Main character is scared and wonders what it is. Okay, so that's where you'll add your own details there. Right, today we are going to be writing our introduction and our build-up of our new story. So we'll be using the features from our toolkit, using the same storyline but changing the characters, and we'll keep the same setting. So, quick recap on the toolkit. So these are all the things we want you to include in your writing. So short, snappy sentences, we did this last week. Main character is in a dangerous place, using empty words, using powerful verbs, sentences of 3 events. So she ran down the lane, turned the corner and screamed. We'll come to that later. We don't need them today. And ellipses, we'll come to that later as well. The ... for drama. So, introduction, we're going to try and do this. Main character's in a dangerous place and looking for safety. So, in Zelda's Claw we had some of these features here. And let's just go to our... So, growled and crouched, these are examples of powerful verbs, okay? So that's what the thunder was doing, it was growling, Zelda crouched, they're just interesting verbs. Staring, So a powerful verb is just a verb which is a bit better than a boring one. Glistening. Wind lashed the glistening tarmac. Glistening is a powerful adjective, isn't it? Zelda shivered. Well, that's an example of a short, snappy sentence. Sometimes, now and then, a short sentence can be quite powerful. We don't do them too much, but here and there, it can just cut through the drama and the suspense. Zelda shivered. Okay, it can be quite effective. And finally, we've got something called a rhetorical question. Where could she escape from the rain? Now, can you remember what a rhetorical question? Pause it here and tell someone if you're sitting with somebody. Rhetorical question is a question which does not require an answer. So if I said, oh, why does it always rain on my birthday? I'm not really looking for an answer. It's just one of those questions we ask. It's a way of making a point. Right, I'm now going to have a go at writing my own introduction to give you some tips on how you could write yours. So, I'm going to start with a nice fronted adverbial. So, all night, comma, rain lashed on the trees overhead, full stop. In fear, comma, and I'm going to call my main character Poppy. Poppy hid underneath the overgrown branches. Hid. It's not the most interesting verb. What about coward? That would be more powerful, wouldn't it? Cowered underneath the overgrown branches, so hiding somewhere, feeling scared. Wind lashed on the windows. Now I've already used lashed, so should we try something else there? Wind whipped on the windows. Wind whipped. And then we've got some nice alliteration, haven't we? Whipped on the windows. Wind whipped on the windows of abandoned houses on the street with only the flicker of street lights ahead. And flicker or flickering was one of those speed words, wasn't it? Some of those key words we want you to try and include in your writing. So try and include the word flicker in your writing today. Poppy panicked. That's an example of a short sentence, isn't it? Okay, Poppy panicked. How long would it take her to get home? And that is our rhetorical question. So end your opening introductory paragraph with a nice rhetorical question. Okay, let's just put a finger space there. Right, always read back your writing to check, because you'll nearly always find mistakes. All night, rain lashed on the street overhead. In fear, Poppy cowered underneath the overgrown branches. Wind whipped on the windows of abandoned houses on the street with only the flicker of streetlights ahead. Poppy panicked. How long would it take her to get home? Okay, so we've got powerful verbs, short sentence, rhetorical question. Good. Right, let's go on to our build-up. So in the build-up, the main character hears something but can't see it. The main character is scared and wonders what it is. Okay, so here's an example of what we used in the Zelda story. We had a vague shape. That's an empty word, isn't it? Slipped into a doorway. A green eye flickered. Zelda's fur prickled as she watched. What was it? We've got another rhetorical question there. At that moment, Zelda heard something crawling along the pavement. Something's one of our empty words, isn't it? Okay, right, I'm going to have a go at writing my own version. But what have we got here? So we've got more powerful verbs, slipped, flickered. We've got another rhetorical question there and some empty words, haven't we? Right, I'm going to write my own version now. Suddenly, comma, Poppy heard footsteps growing closer and closer. Closer and closer was a nice bit of repetition there. Something was behind her. Okay, quite a short sentence there. And we've got an empty word, haven't we? Something. We don't know what yet. Something was behind her. It makes the reader more scared, doesn't it? Out of the corner of her eye, comma, she noticed the shadow of a large, comma, suspicious beast. Now, by saying beast, we still don't know what it is, or creature. We don't know what it is. It's just some kind of beast. It could even be a monster, couldn't it? Poppy shivered in fright. What was it? Okay, so let's read it again and just check for any mistakes. Suddenly, Poppy heard footsteps growing closer and closer. Something was behind her. Out of the corner of her eye, she noticed the shadow of a large, suspicious beast. Poppy shivered in fright. What was it? So we've got empty word, something. Shadow is another empty word. We've got another rhetorical question there. What was it? And another short sentence. Something was behind her. Okay, right. Well, now it's your turn. I want you to write your own version similar to that. So the introduction, you need to introduce your new character, introduce your setting. And I want you to include powerful verbs, adjectives, short, snappy sentences, and quite a rhetorical question. And then in your build-up, you introduce your bad character. It could still be just something or someone. And we need empty words, powerful verbs, adjectives, and a question. So you can pause it on this point here, because this can help remind you, or you might want to go back in the video to look for my examples as well for help. Okay, good luck with that. I really look forward to seeing your writing. See you later. Bye-bye.